Live. Well, this is different. This is new, at least new to me. All right. Live on here, live on YouTube. Awesome. All right, let's see how this works out. This is something totally new to me. Totally new. All right. I got started a little late tonight, a little after 7, because, well, I tried to watch a little bit of the debate. Couldn't do it.
Stupid.
I could not watch it.
Oh, sorry.
So basically where we're at is I watched a few minutes of it, and during that few minutes that I watched, I saw them repeating the same things that we've heard over and over and over again. And I saw Kamala Harris repeating things that we already know are absolutely not true. But apparently, I guess if you say it enough times, it becomes true. Is that how that works? That's not what I was taught when I was a kid, but if you're lying, you're lying. But whatever. Anyway, let's talk about things that do matter, because obviously I'm in a situation where I'm in the silver business. So if one of these, I am back. Thank you. By the way, I did get banned last night. The ban itself was for you know what kind of harassment. Apparently, the algorithms thought that when I said that if I had to be trapped on a desert island with either Harris or Clinton, I suppose I'd choose Harris. And they thought that that meant that I was actually harassing them, when I was clearly making a joke, because there is zero chance I would ever be condemned to an island. I would literally act like Papillon, and I would make a raft and I would swim directly out into the middle of the Pacific if I had to. So we know that. Okay, so watch a little bit of the debate. I was disgusted, as usual. Unfortunately, it's just gotten to the point now where it's bickering. But I will say this: when it came to actual ideas, I gotta say, I definitely heard Trump say some things that Harris did not say about what they're going to do to fix our economy. And that worries me, because our economy is really bad right now. The jobs market, and again, for those of you who don't know, and especially for the live stream for YouTube, because this is my first live stream on YouTube. Number one, back in the 80s, I became a stockbroker. I thought that was the life I wanted. So got my Series 7, got my Series 63, went to work for Prudential-based securities, worked directly for the executive vice president of the entire West Coast, and very quickly realized that you want to talk about a bunch of blood-sucking leeches who care nothing about their investors. Wow. Like, literally, these people are... I remember at one point in my investing career, I watched a guy walk in with a golf ball size lump of cocaine, which I had never tried, never done. And he set it on his desk. And he said, "All right, boys, let's kick ass today. I got a limo that's going to pick us up, and we're going to snort this whole thing." I thought, there's got to be more to life than just this. So I decided to become a real investor, like an actual investor. And I decided, if I'm as smart as I think I am, then what I'll do is I'll just, I'll be broke for a while. I'll eat top ramen until I figure out the economy, how it works, what exactly I need to do to be able to make myself money and or other people money if I want to get back into this line of work. So I figured, 6 months of eating top ramen, I'd have it all nailed down. Well, it turned into 8 years of basically eating top ramen and studying. But I got it. And by the time 2008 rolled around, or I should say, by the time 2005 rolled around, I saw the writing on the wall, told everybody I knew that, hey, look, the top of the market is right now. It was the end of 2006. I said, this is it. They said, you're crazy. This real estate market's going to keep on going for years. It's so hot. That was the end of it. Literally within 2 months, it had leveled off, and then it started going down all the way until 2012. And so, people gave me credit for that. They were like, all right, that was a good guess. I said it wasn't a guess. 2008 rolls around. In August of 2008, I called all of my clients and all of the people that I knew and said, look, it's over. This market's about to tank in a big, big way. And luckily I had some friends that were mentors of mine that were billionaires. And I told them, look, this market's going to be tanked. Uh-oh. Visibility's I already got restricted on TikTok. I'm not restricted on YouTube though. Now you know why I'm switching over to YouTube. By the way, I am doing a live stream on YouTube as well. And you can comment on there if you choose to. So 2008 rolled around, August, I said, look, we're not going to make it to the election. Everybody said, no. You don't understand. Republicans control the money. And Republicans are not going to allow the market to collapse until after we get McCain into office. I said, all right, if you think so, but I don't think it's going to last that long. Well, obviously, I decided at that moment that I would switch over to doing precious metals. No longer any LLCs, limited partnerships, anything like that, nothing. And I got into precious metals. The day that my company actually started was September 15th, which, if you remember correctly, was the day that the market collapsed. At that point, I had some people's attention. And they said, okay, the real estate market, we thought, okay, that was kind of obvious. But this, how did you know it would be September 15th? And I said, well, I didn't. And they said, you started your company the day that the market collapsed. How'd you know? And I said, well, I didn't really know. It was I knew it was going to be around this time frame. I didn't think it would make it to the election. So needless to say, that launched my career pretty well. In 2012, I chose to get out of the metals market completely. I still owned several thousand ounces myself, but I stopped recommending it to clients. I actually did do some numismatic stuff, some collectible coins, because that's something else. I'm also a numismatist. It started off as a hobby and became a profession because I just love history and I love old rare coins. So because of this, what happened was I went into numismatics, and I didn't touch gold and silver again as bullion until about very beginning of 2020. You can figure out why there. I've been doing it since. And since then, I've been making TikTok videos. I've made a couple of YouTube videos saying, look, this is what I think is going to happen. Well, guess what? That's what happened. So now that I've got a little bit of a track record, I decided it's time to go on YouTube as well as TikTok. And of course, TikTok used to promote my videos in a big, big way. I mean, I would get hundreds of thousands of views on every single one. And then all of a sudden, it dropped off to a few hundred. And I think it's because I'm saying things that may be true, but they're not popular. Look, I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to educate people about what's about to happen to our economy and try to make you money if I can. And so last night was a big live for me. And that's when I decided that I've got to reach out to a broader audience. So I started doing the YouTube lives as well. Right now, silver is at almost 90 to 1 to gold. Now, it's been this high a couple of times in history. But whenever it gets to this point, it always corrects. And what do I mean by that? Well, I don't mean that gold comes down. I mean that silver goes up. And so the old rule in our business is that gold always goes first. Gold shoots up because everybody knows gold. Gold. It's gold standard. Well, what they don't realize is that whatever you can expect from gold, you can expect more from silver than you do from gold. And so consequently, silver's in a real good place right now. It should be about 47 to 1. Traditionally, it is 47 to 1. It's right now, I believe, last night when I checked, it was 89 to 1. That is extraordinarily out of whack. So whenever you have an anomaly like this, an anomalous price discovery like this, what it means is it means that you are putting yourself, unless there's something that is obviously wrong with the market, which in this case there is nothing wrong with the market. The supply and demand is exactly where we want it to be. It's exactly where it should be. Okay, great. So that means that what we're looking at is asymmetrical risk. And asymmetrical risk is exactly what you want in any investment, where the reward that you're seeking is not offset by the same amount of risk. Typically, if you want to make a lot of money, look, we all know you've got to take a risk. Not so much right now. And that is very interesting. And I'm going to try something because I'm not seeing comments, which I normally do. So I'm going to turn off, there we go. I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi. And I'm just going to go, thank you for all the love. I'm just going to go with comments. Now, I don't have any comments on here, and that could be because I'm doing something wrong. It could be because I only have about 100 followers on YouTube so far. If you're interested, you can go to YouTube and look me up. Big and Corn Fed, same thing as here. And let's see if I get, I'm looking, by the way, my screen's over here. So if I look away, I'm actually looking at the screen on my Mac to see if I have any commenters. And I don't have any commenters, which I kind of expected. I didn't think this is the YouTube live that I'm doing is more for prosperity, so that people can say, hey, you know what? He did say that back in 2024. So a whole bunch of things going on right now. Whole bunch of things. We've got about 15 different things that are absolutely incredibly negative. We've got 3 potential things that could be extremely, extremely beneficial. Unfortunately, none of them are short term, and none of them will help us come out of the recession that we are now, in my opinion, officially in. And I'm seeing comments on TikTok. Definitely, I'm not seeing them on YouTube though. Unfortunately, and I think that's because I don't have anybody on YouTube. I don't think there's anybody watching my live stream on YouTube, which is fine. It's a new one. The ranch in Colorado. No, as a matter of fact, I've got to go up there and look at it, and that, it's 1,100 miles, so it's going to take a couple days. I was thinking about doing it end of this month, but I am kind of trying to find out a little bit more about the area. Somebody said, somebody who lives in Colorado, in Durango, said, "Oh, that part of Colorado, yeah, that's not as safe." And I thought, not as safe? That's interesting. It's just outside of Alamosa, which seems like a pretty safe town. I mean, it's a small town, but it's definitely something, that's the kind of thing that you got to look into ahead of time, because once you own it, you own it. But I did wonder, if it's out in the middle of nowhere, why do they have these amazing brand new greenhouses that are tens of thousands of square feet, and with all of the most, high-tech HVAC and systems to, moisturize and everything, you name it. Why do they have a 10-foot cyclone fence topped with razor wire, and why do they have security systems all around it? Now, the first thing I came up with, of course, is, well, they must have been growing pot. I mean, what else would you grow that is so valuable that you've got to do that? But exactly, from a survival standpoint, it's kind of irrelevant. I mean, the reality is that it is, that's the place you want to be if the shit hits the fan. And I got to tell you, I used to laugh at people who talked about the shit hitting the fan. I really did. I did not take that seriously at all. I'm starting to become concerned myself. There are so many scenarios that end badly, and only a couple that end well. Can't find me on YouTube. Okay, it's Big and Corn Fed. That's my channel name, right? Let's see. Let's go up there and take a look right now. Yep, at Big and Corn Fed, BIGCORNFED, Big and Corn Fed. So hopefully somebody will find me on there. I do have, I started my live stream the other night with 97, and I ended up with 114 subscribers. So I'm pretty happy about that. Now I just need about 800,000 more. Well, you know what? I'd settle for a couple million. So what do you guys want to talk about? I obviously, I know quite a bit about a few things. If you want to talk about baseball scores, I'm the wrong guy. If you want to talk about the NBA, hockey, whatever that league is called, I don't even know what it's called, and NHL, the NHL, I don't know anything about it. Wait, National Hockey League. How can it be a National Hockey League if there are Canadian teams that play in it? That's a different nation. Shouldn't it be called the International Hockey League? I don't know. What do you do? I did watch a little bit. Man, it was tough. It was a tough one. After I heard Kamala Harris say the same exact things that we have all seen debunked over and over, and calling neo-Nazis good people, all the same bullshit that we've all seen, the whole clip, and it's like, oh, that's not what he said at all. Why, that if he lost, that it would be a bloodbath. That's not what he said. I actually saw him say it live, and then after hearing it 100 times, I kind of started to question, like, did I hear it wrong? And then I saw it again, and what he said that it would be a bloodbath for the auto industry if he lost, because China would kick our ass. Well, that's completely different. Like, what they're intimating, what they're trying to imply is that if he loses, he's going to try and start a civil war. That's not what he said at all. He said it would be a bloodbath for a very specific industry for a very specific reason. She didn't say that. And of course, it's ABC, so they're completely on her side. They did a study came out yesterday that showed that the guy who's moderating has said he's had 163 stories and comments about Kamala Harris, and they were all positive. 100% of the time, everything he says about her is positive. Of the 66 comments made about Trump, 3 of them were positive. Okay, well, I think that shows what side he's on. He is considered the most biased news reporter on prime time, and he is running this debate. And I listened to the way they phrase the questions, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, so, Mr. Trump, do you still beat your wife? That kind of attitude where it's like they're asking leading questions that already assume that he did something that he didn't do. What's the point in watching that? Look, I know what their backgrounds are in business. His background in business is he took a bunch of his dad's money and he played all kinds of crazy games. Some he won, some he lost. But over the course of 40 years in business, he learned a thing or two. She has absolutely 100% zero, just nada experience in business whatsoever. When she ran for president, she got 2% in California. That tells you everything you need to know. The fact that Trump let it slip that Joe Biden absolutely can't stand her, that does not surprise me at all. That does not surprise me, because the reality is that just from the stories that have leaked out about all of the people on her team that have quit, all of the people that have talked about like the crazy shit she does, no one ever stands for anyone except the president of the United States. When the president of the United States enters the room, everyone stands, everyone in the government, and anybody that's in there out of courtesy, but it's not necessary. But if you're in the government, you do. Other than that, no one stands for anyone. The first time she walked into a conference after becoming vice president, she wanted to know why everyone didn't stand. And they said, well, we don't stand for the vice president. She said, well, you will from now on. When I enter a room, you get to your feet. And I thought, wow. You're old, and well, that depends. If like when your expiration date is, sell them the day before. But don't sell them if you think you might need them, because silver dollars are actually great. You can pick them up for in the mid 20s right now, because they're not pure silver. Obviously, they're 90%. But here's the key to that. When we say silver dollars, people just think silver dollars. So some people know that they're 90%. Some people care. Some people don't give a damn. They just know that they're silver dollars. And they go, what's silver? Well, silver's at about 30. All right, that's what I'll give you for it. Well, why? Because it's the most recognizable coin in the world, especially if your silver dollars are Morgans. Look, I don't care where you go in the world. You go to Vietnam, you can go to Botswana, you can go to Russia, anywhere you go. You hand somebody a Morgan silver dollar, they're going to look at it and they're going to go, oh, I know what this is. This is an American silver dollar. Yeah, that's called worldwide money. You know, American Express, accepted everywhere you want to be. Well, guess what? So is a silver dollar. So it depends on how many you have and how old you are. If you're 99 years old and you've got 200,000 of them, yeah, it's about time to start offloading some of those bad boys. Call me. I'll be more than happy to buy them for you for more than anybody else will pay. And the reason I say that is because my margins are thinner than anybody else's. And I do that on purpose. I do it for a couple of reasons. Number one, because you make more money that way. But number two, and very importantly, I do it because I don't have a huge overhead like some of these guys do. APMEX is a great company. JM Bullion, good company too. SD Bullion, love those guys. MoneyMetals.com. Money Metals is an awesome company. They're really legitimate. Now, I will say this. There are some big companies, and I won't tell you which ones, but there are some big companies that if you put in a big order, like when I say big, I don't mean 100 coins. I mean, if you put in an order for 20,000 coins and the price jumps, don't be surprised if at some point a week or 2 or 3 later, they don't cancel your order and offer to send your money back. Because what they've actually done is they've actually used your money to buy the coins. And before they shipped them, they realized, hey, if we just canceled this order and sold them at the new spot price, we'd make an extra $8 per coin or whatever the case is. That's not okay, but it's legal technically. And some of the biggest companies in the country will actually do that. I've had clients that's happened to over and over again. Someone talking was better than Trump. I didn't see it. That's why. I don't know why they would say that on Fox. They said Kamala's better than Trump. That would be very unusual. I mean, that's not typically her wheelhouse, Fox News. Carl Mahler won. I don't know who Carl Mahler is. Are you talking about Kamala Harris? Because let's see. Trump just came out attacking. Well, yeah, I think based on what I heard, just a little bit I heard before I just said, fuck it, I can't watch this. She said 4 or 5 things that he had said that he absolutely did not say. I've seen the tape. I know he didn't say what she said. So why watch the rest of the debate? If she's just going to stand up there and lie about his track record, look, we can go look his track record up. Why are we debating what he said? He didn't say that it was going to be a bloodbath in the United States if he lost. He said that if he lost, it would be a bloodbath for the auto industry because of China. Okay, well then why would you say that? One of 2 things is true. Either A, she's assuming that the audience is stupid enough that they're not going to research this, that they're not going to look it up and go, wait a minute, no, that got, I mean, everybody from Joe Rogan on down the line, everybody's talked about that. We've all talked about it. We've all discussed the fact that was a horrible bullshit misinformation campaign on their part 6 months ago. So why would you bring it up now? Why would you keep saying the same thing? It's like when Joe Biden kept saying, well, yeah, the day I took over, it was 9% inflation, and I brought it down. No, it was 1.9% when you took over, and it went to 9 during your presidency. Now, look, if it were me, I'd be honest about that. And I would say, yeah, where you're getting your information, but it's wrong. Oh, you're not talking to me. I was going to say, I'm getting my information from, watching the clips again, over and over and over and over again. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on behind the scenes that we don't know anything about. And it's pretty nefarious. That's all I can say. He said he read she likes to put out. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, if you want to know where that came from, Saint, read Willie Brown's autobiography. Willie Brown is the one who said that. And he said that if it weren't for one specific thing that she could do better than anybody else he'd ever met, she would never have gotten to the status that she got to. She wouldn't have attained her office without that one skill. Now, I won't say what it is, but I think maybe you should go and look at what her own ex-boyfriend, who was married at the time, said about her. She said Willie Brown was her mentor. He said she was not a very good person. See, that's the thing, is you gotta, it's one of these things where it's so, look, the republic that we live in means that we have to do a lot of research. We have to do our homework. We can't just, gag reflex. That's, a lot of people have said that, Ms. Diane, a lot of people. And you know what? Look, I saw the clip. I saw her with the talk show host. He's actually seems like a sharp cat. He was a Navy SEAL. Had his own talk show, mid-afternoon kind of thing, and it was it was about the same time that Jerry Springer was on, but he was he's a really good-looking black guy, right? Montel Williams, thank you. Yeah, Montel's a badass dude. He was a Navy SEAL. He got some kind of nerve disorder that was supposed to kill him. It obviously didn't. He beat it somehow. I mean, the guy's he's iron will. Well, he also had 2 girlfriends at one time that he showed off. And he was more than happy to show off that, look, Kamala Harris is one of my girlfriends, and whoever this other girl was is my other girlfriend. And he would take them to premieres and put his arms around both of them. And, it was like, okay, this is, I guess, good for Montel. If you can do that, that's a lot of work, but good for you. Klaus Schwab, what? I got to see that again. Well, by the way, I don't know if any of you have found my YouTube, but I'm looking over here at YouTube, and I don't have anybody on there. That's pretty funny. Was a naval officer. Oh, okay, naval officer, not Navy SEAL. I don't know why I thought he was a SEAL. He was a naval officer. Okay, well, big difference. Where do I see it? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's ask AI. Well, it's already been done. Last week, a bunch of silver guys got together and they decided let's test this. The Chat GPT-4 said that considering all of the different factors, economy, supply and demand, price of oil, political machinations, figuring it all in, the Chat GPT-4 expected $65. Now there was one that said $45, and I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with a 50% increase. But Chat GPT-4, which we all agree is the most advanced chat bot there is, said 65 this year. I'm okay with that. Look, I don't think that that's overvalued. I think that that's still about half of what its true value is right now. And that's just the reality. Like, you look at what the dollar buys, look at what silver is worth and what it has purchased in the past, look at what gold's doing, and all of a sudden you go, okay, well, wait a minute. If gold is X amount higher than its all-time high ever, shouldn't silver be that also? Well, yeah, it should. Okay. So Why isn't it? Well, 90 days from today is a lot easier for me because right now we've got what we call a discovery anomaly, a price discovery anomaly, which is that typically in the last 30, 40 years, we've seen silver at an average of about 47 to 1, which is what it was at not too long ago. It's at 89 to 1. It takes 89 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Why is that? Well, because it's anomalous. Somebody's been manipulating the price down for a very specific reason. And when it explodes, it will go back to at least 47 to 1. It may go higher than that. It may end up at 30 to 1. I know that over the last 5,000 years, it's been 15 to 1. Now, is it just that they've made more of it recently, that there's a huge amount? No, that's not at all. As a matter of fact, we've got a huge supply deficit right now, and countries all around the world are hoarding it for some reason. Not gold, they're doing that too. We've all heard about that. We've all heard about the fact that central banks around the world are buying more gold than at any point in history. Why would you want to do that? I thought it was just a useless metal. I thought all the hot shit guys out on Wall Street talk crap about it. Well, I can tell you this: S&P 500 index over the last year and silver over the last year, neck and neck. Last 5 years, neck and neck. So, what's the S&P 500? Well, it's 500 of the major stocks in the United States, basically the whole damn stock market. So, if the S&P 500 is just keeping up with silver, and the S&P 500 is at the highest PE ratio it's been in 100 years, which is idiotic, then why are we in it? Why wouldn't we just be in silver, which is probably the safest place on earth to put money right now? I mean, I know some of you are going to say, well, what about Bitcoin? Go ahead. If you don't want to say it, I'll say it. What about Bitcoin? Bitcoin's fantastic, unless, of course, the catastrophic cyber attack that over 150 security analysts, cybersecurity analysts around the world are saying will happen. Now, they said that it will happen in 2024. I think it would be ironic if it happened right before the election, during the election. You could blame a lot of countries for that, because disrupting the election would be something that would just about tear this country completely apart. Because, nobody's going to believe the result then, no matter what the result is. Doesn't matter if Harris wins or Trump wins, nobody's going to buy it. And then we're going to find out just how fragile our system of government is. I said it, but you just didn't hear. I'm not sure what you said, but I'm curious about something. Let's see. Okay. Big and Corn-Fed. That is my address on YouTube. That is so strange that nobody can find me. Huh. Well, you know what? I guess one of these days I will have to, as soon as we get off of here, I'm going to have to go on there and check it out. Somebody found me. Yes. Yeah, if you could do me a favor, Polly, and type something in my chat. I don't know if you can get on the chat or not, but if you can, just say something, because it's the first live stream I've done. So I have 0 people on there other than you. So if you comment and it pops up in my comments, well, that would be really good. Because right now, I don't see anything. I have the comments on slow mode so I can read them. But guess what? I don't think that was necessary. You were watching on YouTube and left a message. Oh, well, what is this? I have something popped up over here. 1. Bink. What is that? 1. Oh, it's one person watching. Okay, but what about the messages? What is going on here? Okay, top chat. Live chat. Okay, new managing moderator, support your channel and blah, blah, blah. Nope, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, I've got nothing on my chat. Well, what do you do? Bottom line is, awesome. Somebody's watching me right now. I got 2 thumbs up. I see that in the corner. And it shows somebody's watching me. Reminds me of that old song from 1984, Maxwell. Who's watching? I remember that song. And I remember that Maxwell, his father was the actual president of the record label. And he went to his dad and said, "Hey, I want to make a record." And he was like, "No, kid, no, that's not how it works. You got to earn it. You can't just say, because you're my kid, you're going to make a record." And then he sang the song to him and he's like, "Oh, shit, okay. Post YouTube info on TikTok for us." I will. That's what I'll do. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to put that up there. I think it's because of that debate. It could be. You have a heart filter on here and they keep popping up hearts on your face. Yeah, what's that about? I don't get that. I just assumed that all those hearts that were those were because people loved me. I don't know. Maybe is that it? Maybe it is. Okay, how many people are? Oh, look at this. I've got 2 people watching me on my live stream. Welcome to YouTube Live. My name is Martin Grant, and I'll be your host tonight. Your moderator, your moderation. No, that's not what I am. Anyway, sent message. It's me. Don't think you saw it. Oh, look at that. I'll be damned. I just got my first message. That's exciting as hell, Albie. Thank you very much. I see it. That is fantastic. Now I'm going to hit 100%. Boom. I don't know where the fuck that went. I'm going to have to get pretty good at this YouTube stuff because I'm going to be doing YouTube every single day along with TikTok from now on. So, it's one of those things. You just kind of muddle through until you've got the 500,000 subs. Achy breaky heart. God, what was that guy's name? Don't tell me. Mullet. Cool guy. Turned out to be a very cool guy. He was on some TV shows after that where he played a dad. And he, nice guy. I'm about to go and give up here on this. Achy breaky heart. God damn. Billy Ray Cyrus. That's it. Oh my God. Oh, BRC. Oh, I love that. Can you tell who among us is a fucking redneck? Just BRC, capital letters. That tells me a lot right there. You have a pickup truck, guaranteed. You can't refer to Billy Ray Cyrus as BRC unless you have a pickup truck and probably a quad. Yeah, the quad, not a dirt bike. Because anybody who's old enough to remember Billy Ray Cyrus, I definitely do. I knew it. I called it, man. They're just saying, look, there are certain patterns in life that you follow, If you see a fin in the water and you're surfing, just get out of the water. Could it be a harmless shark? Yeah, I suppose. But just play the odds. And the reason I said quad was because most guys that are old enough to remember Billy Ray Cyrus are older millennials or they're Gen Xers. And they used to ride dirt bikes, and they finally, after that second collarbone broke, they were like, fuck this. I'm just riding a quad. I'm going to get a rack that I can put at least 18 beers on, and I'm going to go 14 miles an hour. Boomer. That's surprising. Actually, it's not surprising because I noticed that for my viewers, it's 90% 35 and above. And most of them are 50 and above. Look, if you're 28 years old, 18 beers, I can't tell what that is, but it looks like a deer. And if it's a deer, I totally understand. So, although you should never drink and hunt. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Class of 85. There you go. See, the reason is I talk a lot about investing. I talk about a lot of common sense things. Did any of us have any common sense when we were 24 years old? No, really. No. And if you did, that's terrifying. That's really terrifying. So by the time, and I like to make the joke that there's a reason that you never hear the term wise young men. Wise old men? Yeah. Well, some wise old men over there. Well, it's because the testosterone poisoning has worn off. And once the testosterone poisoning wears off, you can think mostly in like this area, like in here. Yeah, see, 72. Testosterone's starting to wind down a little bit, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, there's something else out there in the world. And that's when we start doing all kinds of cool shit. I went to YouTube, but could not send a message. Well, that's just not even nice. That's not very nice of them. I wonder what it is about live chats. Like, it's funny. There's a guy over in England that I go and check in with because he seems to have quite a bit of common sense. And when I check in with him, he's got this live stream box that runs down the side, and it's just completely full. Like, you can't even keep up with it. As you're reading, you have to read the comment as it's going up and it's like, I don't know what that means. Maybe they do that because the algorithms love it. I don't know. Can't find your YouTube. That is so strange. It's just big and corn fed, but it's letter N, big N corn fed, not and. That could be messing you up. So anyway, yeah, I watched a little of the debate, and I just thought, you know what? It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter. I mean, okay. If Donald Trump wins, I believe that the country's got a better chance economically of turning around quickly. But, if Kamala Harris wins, to be quite frank with you, I'll make more money. I will. I really will. And the reason I will is because I am in an industry that basically is all about preparation. And I don't consider myself a prepper because I don't. Oh, I got it. I got your comment on YouTube, Ray. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. The thing is, I don't want to make a lot of money because people are panicking and because the economy's failing. That's really not my goal. My goal is to not even be in the silver business, to be quite frank with you. My goal is to study archaeoastronomy, to go out and hang out with Graham Hancock and my buddy Randall Carlson and guys like I've got a lot of friends that are very into ancient civilizations, and that's kind of my love. I want to find all of the lost civilizations that are around the world. However, is to live like an infantryman again. Well, that's not hard. Throw away everything you own. Eat nothing but MREs. Drink way too much whenever you're given the opportunity. Let's see. Smoke at least 2 packs a day because you're going to die in combat. So why the fuck not smoke? What else? Drink coffee that is so strong that you have to pull the spoon out quickly or it starts to dissolve. Did I miss anything? Don't shower for a week at a time sometimes. Get to the point where you can't even stand the smell of yourself and you roll around in the dust like a fucking gerbil to get the stink off, which, by the way, goes away after a month. You don't even want to know how I know that. To my land and dig in and wait. Well, that's not a bad idea. That really isn't a bad idea. I would go with maybe a small log cabin as opposed to a 2-man fighting hole, because I've been in plenty of those, and they suck. They really suck. The bathroom part of that is absolutely terrible. So yeah, that is one of my goals. I have another goal of putting together a very large amount of land to which I will bring lots of very learned people, many different disciplines, and have them stay there for free food, free board. I'll pay for all of it. All I want them to do is figure shit out. Let's debate. Let's figure it out. Let's use a scientific method and let's get it done. Let's push this whole thing forward. Sometimes I do feel a little bit like Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the hill because there's a lot of dumb shits out there. I did watch some of the debates, but again, as soon as I turned it on, I knew that I couldn't watch the whole thing. Once I saw all of the same old refrains, he said that if he loses the election, that it's going to be a bloodbath. What kind of person says that? Well, not Trump. That's not what he said at all. That's not even close. That is the most dishonest thing that you could possibly say. He said, and I am absolutely certain he's right, if he is not elected, it will be a bloodbath for the auto industry because of what China will do to them. Oh, well, that's a completely different thing. So why would they use it over and over? They tried it 6 months ago in the mainstream media, and people like Joe Rogan pounded the shit out of them over it because it's just a lie. Look, if you're going to call the man a liar and you're going to say everything out of his mouth is a lie, you can't then say nothing but lies. People around the world said that he was a disgrace. Okay. Who? Give me some names. Who said that he was a disgrace as a leader? He named names. He said that Viktor Orban, who I am very familiar with, Viktor Orban said that they needed Trump back. Now that's verifiable. That's not world leaders. That's Viktor Orban said this. Okay, so then now they can go and ask Viktor Orban, did you say that the world would be safer if Trump were president? And he can either say yes or no. Now, obviously, Trump would be out of his fucking mind to say that Viktor Orban can be quoted as saying that if he can't. If there isn't some video clip of him saying that, then Donald Trump's crazy because he's already been marked as the biggest liar in history. So there you go. Here, look, see, we told you. But if Viktor Orban did say that, then Kamala Harris's bullshit answer of, well, I've talked to world leaders. She's talked to world leaders? Why was she talking to world leaders? We all know that vice president is the most useless post in the United States of America. We all know it. We've all joked about it. Our entire lives, we've joked about that the vice president doesn't do shit. They stand around and wait for the president to get killed. And if he doesn't, well, they didn't do anything. Okay, so if that's the case, then what are all these world leaders she's meeting? Who? Name some names. Give me some names. Who said that he was a disgrace? Not hard. You've met with all these world leaders. Give me the names. You tell me so I can go and find out if that is actually true. So that I can call their press secretary and say, Mr. Macron, Kamala Harris said that you called Trump a disgrace as president. Is that true? She didn't name names, did she? That's the problem. That's what's going to happen for the rest of the time. She's going to say, oh, well, if he gets elected, it's the end of democracy. Okay, well, I see your concern. I see that you're passionate about it. Why do you say that? Well, he said it's going to be a bloodbath. No, okay, no, he didn't say that. Okay, so give me another one. Oh, well, he said he's going to be a dictator. Is that what he said? He said he's going to be a dictator? No, that's not what he said either. Okay, well, he started the riots on January 6th. Really? Because I think it's kind of interesting that we're finding out that there were literally dozens of FBI agents secretly embedded in that crowd. Oh, and by the way, the CIA just announced last week that, yes, they had some involvement. What? The fuck is the CIA doing messing around in the United States? They literally have as their charter that they do not operate inside the United States. They are a foreign intelligence gathering agency only. So, okay, well, what was the, like, when you say you were involved, like, there's that worries me. Okay, but how? Who knows? Who knows how they were involved? They haven't said that part yet. Probably won't until after the election. See, that's the problem. What we're dealing with here is we're dealing with a lot of generalities. It's like when you go to the soothsayer and they tell you that, let me see your palm. Oh, yeah. You're going to live a long and happy life. And you like dogs. And you look at your eyes to see if your pupils dilate. Because if they do, that means yes. Oh, and your favorite color is blue. Oh, well, yeah, 70% of the public says that their favorite color is blue. And 85% of people say they love dogs. Oh, well, that's helpful. Okay. The 4 Patriot meals I haven't eaten them. They look legitimate, but they're insanely expensive. They are incredibly, ridiculously, horribly expensive. And there's one other thing, and this is something I really kind of feel like I need to start a channel about this, but if you live in a city and the electricity goes out and you have your little cooking tabs and you have your meals and you decide that, you know what, glad I bought these 4 Patriot meals. All I need is a little water. You've got your water stored up. You got a little tub of water, one of the blue 55-gallon versions to last you a couple weeks. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cook up this delicious, nutritious meal that's nutritionally balanced. You're dead. You're fucking dead. That's it. Start cooking one of those nutritional meals with that savory scent, and you're a dead man. Because anyone who's starving within about 2 blocks can smell you, and they will figure out where the hell that smell is coming from. I walked out of an auto parts place in a neighborhood that I was not familiar. Don't let your neighbor smell it like you have any choice. I walked out of an auto parts place. My then wife was sitting in the car. I walked out and I went, there's a breakfast place about 2 blocks that way. And she said, come on, you think you can smell breakfast that far away? And I said, I guarantee you, let's drive that way. We took a couple side streets and we went around the corner and we came around the next little place, and there was a little mini mall in there and brand new breakfast place. And she was like, how the fuck did you do that? And I said, because all you have to do is stand there and go from side to side a little bit, feel the wind on your face, or it wasn't a windy day, but there was just a slight breeze. And I realized that, okay, look, the breeze, it's stronger coming from this direction. And I looked across, and the little mini strip mall didn't have any breakfast places in it that I could see across the street. And I was like, it's got to be at least another block. So, yeah, bottom line is 4 Patriots meals are completely and utterly worthless if you live in a city. Cooking anything is suicide. You can't even steam rice because people will smell it. You can soak rice overnight. You can soak beans overnight and then eat them. You can soak lentils overnight and eat them. You cannot cook them. Not after day 3. Up until day 3, have a party. But once that time, have you looked into, oh, look at that. Patriot Prep Meals. Thank you. Appreciate you asking on there too. That's cool. Yeah. So, the thing is that there are certain things that you really have to start thinking about if the shit really hits the fan. If you need those 4 Patriot meals, you can't eat them. That's sad, but it's true. Unless, of course, you're stockpiling and you live in Idaho and you've got 40 acres, and you know all your neighbors, and you've talked to your neighbors. You're friends with them. Oh, love thy neighbor. There's a reason for that. Go talk to your neighbors, get to know them a little bit. Tell them, hey, by the way, I don't know if the shit will ever hit the fan, but if it does, we need to be able to rely on each other. Wow. Am I supposed to take user blah, 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 the bot seriously when it says Trump lost bigly? I'm not sure I can trust your opinion based on the fact that you don't know this language worth a shit. By the Rancho Amigo. Oh, by the Rancho Amigo. I was like, Rancho Amigo? I love that name. Rancho Amigo. We're all friends here, amigo. It's kind of a cool name, actually, if you think about it. But that leaves out all the girls. And believe me, boys, if you want a hard life, get a few hundred boys together on a ranch. Oh, yeah, we'll make it. We'll survive. But I'm not sure we'd want to. Not without women. They kind of add the spice to life, really, And all the guys who say, yeah, but all the drama and they're so emotional. Yeah, that's the whole fucking point. That's what's awesome about them. You got to bring cats and dogs. You got to have cats and dogs. Make sure your Haitian neighbors don't eat them. By the way, I'm not joking when I say that. I don't want to get banned for misinformation, but in Springfield, Ohio, I watched a live, or it was live. I didn't see it live, but it was actually a police cam video of them arresting a woman for catching and starting to eat a family's cat in their driveway. They were horrified when they got home and called the police. And she was still there eating the cat when they pulled up. Now today I saw in downtown Springfield sort of a big get-together. And it was these big burly looking guys that were obviously Haitian, all standing around this barbecue. And I am absolutely certain that they had cats on the barbecue. Now, people are complaining that all of the wildlife in the parks is disappearing. All of the neighborhood cats and dogs are disappearing. And strangely enough, 20,000 Haitian immigrants have suddenly shown up in Springfield, Ohio. And they are begging the mayor for help. They are absolutely terrified to go out at night. In a lot of countries, and this is the way that it is. Okay, I'm not judging. I'm just saying this is the way it is in a lot of countries. If you go to some place like India or Bangladesh, people urinate, they defecate in the street, right there. Like with a lot of men, they'll actually like walk up to the wall and squat down and sort of pull their shorts to the side, and they try to do it discreetly, but they do it in public. When you have people who have immigrated from countries that are that kind of poor, they have no concept of what our society is like. All they know is that we're all rich. We're all rich. Everybody in this country is rich. To that, I say, yes, you are right. We are all rich compared to you. I'm going to look this up. I can do that without screwing up my live stream on YouTube. But let's look this up. Average yearly income in Africa. All right, let's see. $9,000 a year is the overall. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Per country. Let's do per country because the disparities over there are so incredible. Yeah, this is this is going to be this is going to be an eye opener for you folks. Okay. Yep. In Burundi, the average yearly income is $199. In, let's see, in Burkina Faso, it is $800. In Chad, it's $719 per year. I don't know how much they get. I'm almost afraid to find out, but I know that they get free a free place to live. They get free food. They get free everything. They get cell phones. So the question, of course, is you're probably asking if these are political refugees from Haiti, and there are 20,000 of them, and they're all getting government assistance, huge amounts of government assistance, then the question you have to ask yourself is, why are they eating people's pets? They're getting money from the government to buy food. The food costs them nothing. They can go to the store and buy food, lots of it. They choose to eat the animals that are around them, all of them. Now, in Venezuela, it's a known fact that there are no more animals in any of their zoos. That's called starvation. But in Springfield, they're actually eating them. Let's see. This is really, I mean, when you look at this, you go, okay, well, wait, what happens to these people when they get here? Yeah, Sudan is $61 a month. Yeah, they're eating people's pets. It's definitely something that's got to come to an end pretty soon. There's no question. So, yeah, basically, I think my live stream. Let me make sure that I didn't screw my live stream up here. Boom, my live stream is still on. I still have. This is kind of cool. I've gotten comments on my live stream. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of this over to the computer so that I can look at things and look at you guys back and forth instead of doing this. Although it's probably good neck exercise. And Major on CBS claimed that as false. I wonder what that was. My woman in Africa thought our government reimbursed me for money I sent there. Ugh. Oh my gosh, that's so sad because the misinformation. I will say this. I know for a fact it's now been verified that invite USMC female type vet. Female type. I like that. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. What was false, but well, I don't even remember what I was going to say. It's been a long day. By the way, I'm going to do a live stream, not about any of this stuff tomorrow. It's going to be about silver again until the prices of silver and gold restabilize at 47 to 1. It's a huge, huge opportunity. Please understand that this will not last. It will go back to 47 to 1 or maybe 30 to 1, whatever it is. But because of this huge price anomaly, you have the opportunity to buy it here and watch it come back up to where it's supposed to be, to parity. And parity in this case should be about 47 to 1 as opposed to 89 to 1. Look, I mean, come on, guys. We're talking about doubling your money, and that's like, what more do you want from me? What's the price of silver these days? about 28, 29. And it's, gold is at the highest it's ever been. If silver just does the same thing, just goes to the highest it's ever been, nothing more, then it would be at about 50. Now, if it does what gold did, and went shooting past 1800 all the way to 2550, well, if that's the case, then you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $70 gold. Well, according to most economists who look at the inflationary impacts of printing money out of our ass, it should actually be at 130. That would be the fair market value of silver today if it weren't being manipulated. So the question you got to ask yourself is, how much longer can they manipulate it? Well, the largest drawdown in history happened in the LBMA vaults, London Bullion Market Association. Those are the guys with all the bullion, gold and silver. And they just witnessed the largest drawdown of silver bullion in their history. They've only got 300 million ounces left. 300 million ounces. Think about that. If every single person in the United States bought 1 ounce, they'd be 60 million ounces in the hole already. And production has gone way down on silver, and demand is skyrocketing. Supply and demand. I'm pretty sure we heard about this in junior high school. I know we heard about it in high school, in econ. I know we heard a hell of a lot about it in junior college. And then if you went to a university, theoretically, you should be completely dialed into this. You should totally understand what's going on. So, all right, folks, so I'm going to let you go. Let's do this again. I'm going to try and do it a little earlier tomorrow, 6:30. And that way I can start getting to the people on the West Coast, because to people on the East Coast. What we didn't learn in school. Yeah, that's true. Well, they don't teach us how to take advantage of it. That's the key. That's something I will teach you, because there's more money made in a recession and a depression than in a boom market. And I'll show you how that works. All right, my live stream is 1 hour and 7 minutes. Not bad, not bad. I don't know how good my audio was for the whole thing, but I'm going to chalk this up as a success.